Hello, hello. We're back. We could not be more sorry for the time we've been away, but we're here today to talk about Obi-Wan, our new appreciation for the Whatnot app, and of course all of our regular segments. And because of us letting you down for the last couple weeks, someone should definitely let me give this to them free this week to make up for it. Welcome back to your favorite live streaming podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I'm your host, Kevin, and I have two amazing gentlemen with me today. You want to say hi, Mike?
Hey, good to be back.
And then, of course, Patrick. Patrick,
Good day.
hey. So how you guys doing? I've
Good.
missed you a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, I mean, it was a long few weeks, and I don't think the three of us chatted very much. And
during that period as well, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I definitely wanted to express a heartfelt apology directly to Patrick, because I just want to let all the audience know that this has been me and Mike problems that have caused the delay over the last couple weeks. Patrick was ready.
he was set up last week.
He was totally 100% like he thought it was happening up until I think it was 1:05. He sent a message saying, "Hey, we doing the show or what?" We not only failed to be ready for the show, we failed to let Patrick know that we weren't ready for the show. So again, sorry about that, Patrick.
No problem.
He was even traveling. He even had reason to be like, I can't do it this time. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, he packed up the studio and took it with him.
Yeah, exactly. He was totally motivated. So, all right. Anyway, so I guess we want to start the show with see if we can remember these things since we only missed 2 shows, but that's been 3 weeks basis. It's our last show. So my memory is going to fail me regularly, I'm sure, today, as it usually does anyway. But I think the first thing we want to do is set up the profits, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So go ahead and take that away.
Okay. So here are the covers for 10 open order comic books coming out this upcoming week, which is June 15th. And the Xcellar group and our families, we've all selected our individual top 3 favorites. Did some calculations, got the top 3 favorite books out of these 10, and it is your opportunity to win one of these covers, a cover of your choice. We'll ship it to you. We'll cover the shipping, but you have to guess which 3 our group selected as the favorites. If you go over to the Facebook page, they're all listed there. You can look at them full size, and then during the show, just come back and comment your 3, and if you match us, then you win your book. And this, let's see, the cutoff time for submission will be announced right before we cover the pick 3 for the week.
All right, awesome.
So go do it. It's fun. You get a free book.
Yeah, actually, it's a little bit more special this week. I didn't even talk to you guys about this yet, but I don't want people to think, man, that show sucks. They were gone so long. So what I'm going to do for anybody who wins anything today in all of our miscellaneous ways to win things, it's going to be times 3. 3 for the amount of shows we've missed.
Nice.
So if someone comments during the show, what the top 3 were that we picked correctly, everything you just said, they get 3 of those comics in there.
Nice.
The only thing I can't do is the next thing we're going to talk about. I can't give 3 of these away, but I can triple the money to be between 18 and 24 bucks, though. I'm willing to do that. So let's talk about that next. So the Fun Fan freebie, obviously no one's won it yet. You can see details of the Fun Fan freebie on our website, xcellarcomics.com. And if you listen to the podcast, I'll kind of explain it at the end of the podcast as well. But in general, you can win, and this is just this week, between $18 to $24 of free stuff, as well as this CGC 9.4 Star Wars The High Republic #1 variant. If you get the Fun Fan freebie right, freebie phrase right. And a reminder, the first word of the Fun Fan freebie phrase for this week, well, you know, hopefully I remember this correctly, but I do believe it is long. So the first word is long. And, you know, we started kind of, for lack of a better way to describe it, falling apart to where I never got the third word of that Fun Fan freebie phrase out.
Right.
Do you guys know the second word, though? No?
I forget. Yeah.
If you did know, it's gone now. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, It's been so long.
Yeah.
Since that's terrible.
So we also have an update on this. And I do believe we're at 37 followers now. So when we get to 100 followers on YouTube, if you've done any of those things just listed, we'll give you a bunch of prizes. They're on the website as well. I'm going to try to remember right now, though. It's free movie tickets, a pop.
Funko Pop.
Yeah, Funko Pop. Yeah.
Not a Coca-Cola Pop.
Right. A Funko Pop. And a pack of your a TCG playing card game. I think that was it. Right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, and that will increase, you know, as we grow and, you know, it gets to be, you know, more, you know, financially viable for us. So anyway. Yeah, so I think that is it for the free stuff, right? Yeah.
You know, during our the introduction to the show, I thought it was funny. The three of us our characters are just running around all crazy and like maniacs, and then Johnny just comes in like he's just the most chill guy on the planet.
Yeah.
And he is. He's really laid back.
Yeah, and I sent him an invitation today, so he might show up. You know, I heard through the grapevine that he might actually bought a place.
Ah, sweet. Yeah,
actually, I haven't talked to him since I've heard that, but yeah, I think they actually got a place now. So
that's cool.
Hopefully things once again settle down for him where he can show up. He can show up today for 5 minutes.
Right.
2 minutes, 1 minute. He can pop in and say, "Hey, what's up, fellas?" and then leave. That would be an hilariously awesome moment. Right?
That'd be great. You'd have to change the title of the show.
Yeah. All right.
There have been more Bigfoot sightings than Johnny Burger sightings.
In 2022, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what the irony of it is. And to remind anybody who doesn't know, this whole live stream happened as a Christmas present for Johnny. I asked him what he wanted for Christmas. And he said, "I want us on a live stream, not just the podcast." Because he was on all the podcasts prior to the live stream. When he asked for it for Christmas, we delivered. And you know, I mean, he's been here once, so we shouldn't say he hasn't been here at all. But anyway, that's what the true irony of all of this is. So. All right, so let's get into the first segment of the show. All right. This might be shocking, but I've watched a lot of stuff in 3 weeks. Okay, so I had to whittle this down quite a bit.
I was wondering how you were going to handle this.
Yeah, and I might still, every time I look at the, I'm calculating the time and how we can possibly cut here and there if it gets a little long and stuff. I'm always the culprit for taking up the most time, that's for sure. So when I'm gone 3 weeks, that makes it even worse.
Right.
And then I've noticed something new that, I'm really, and I don't know whether you guys have noticed this tendency with you and your household, but it's like all shows now. It's like I hardly ever watch, I shouldn't say hardly ever, but, my shows to movie ratio is like 10 to 1,
Yeah.
I mean, shows are just better. I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
You can knock off a half an hour and then go do some stuff. If you're in a movie, you're, an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah. And then you get, you watch a season of a show, you basically got, a trilogy, at the very least, All right. So first thing I watched was Love, Death, and Robots. Are either of you familiar with this show?
Familiar, but I have not watched it.
Never heard. And I've been all over Netflix and all the services looking for something to watch. And this didn't even show up on mine.
I got plenty of good stuff for you today. I don't think I have anything that I watched that I'm going to give a bad review to today. But warning, this is definitely just for adults. It's got a lot of all the adult things that you'd expect in adult things in this show, but I really enjoyed it a lot. This was season 3 that came out, actually. This is their season, yeah. And there's like 8 or 9 episodes per season, and they're all shorts. So,
nice.
Shorts relative to they're all standalone, each episode is a standalone. They aren't related to each other at all, so, but they are like usually like a half an hour long. So I don't know whether that still defines them as shorts, but this really reminds me of heavy metal. I've talked about heavy metal a few times recently, and that's what this show reminds me of. This is what these kind of stories are. They're out there, mostly sci-fi, and it's just kind of the craziness you'd expect if you're familiar with and you read heavy metal. But I had a lot of fun with it. I actually, when I saw the season 3 came out, there's another show, I can't even remember the name of it, but it's similar to this that I was confusing it with. So I actually went back to season 1 and I enjoyed it so much again. I watched season 1 through 3 all over again in like one Saturday, so it was really good stuff. Really crazy, really kind of get you thinking kind of stuff, like I said, typical if you read heavy metal kind of thing. And then I found this one, Night Sky on Amazon Prime. Is anybody familiar with this?
Nope.
Never saw it. Do we have, is there a different Prime or Netflix?
Well, I'm sure there is some algorithm as to what they feed you as far as what you see on your screen, of course.
That's true. Definitely Prime does that to me.
Yeah. But this was great. I love this show. And this really put me in mind of the other one I already talked about, which you guys, I think, well, at least Mike was familiar with, the Open Range with, Thanos or whatever. This is really kind of normal but sci-fi at the same time kind of show. Basically, they're a couple that you can see Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons, better known as Carrie and J. Jonah Jameson. They're a couple that live in this house that they found this room in the basement of their shed that when they go into this room, it transports them onto another planet. But all they can do on this planet is view it. It's a viewing. It's like this nice setup living room, but it just has a big bay window, and all they can do is look out it, and they see they're on a completely different planet, and a completely different space and everything. to kind of set you up as you think things are at the beginning, is it sets you up like they transport to a completely different universe in this viewing facility of the stars. So it's really, like I said, it kind of reminds me of Open Range. It's like, it seems like that doesn't fit in this story, which, as you can imagine, as the story goes on, you start to understand more. But that's kind of the setup for this. It's this old couple that have found this room. So that's what they do on like Friday night when they're, that's their entertainment. She says, let's go look at the stars. And that means they want to go down and transport to another universe to look at the stars in another universe. So that's kind of the setup. But
nice
in the meantime, yeah, exactly. It's a date night thing for them. So in the meantime, regular crazy life things are happening. They actually had a son who died, which we don't know any information from the beginning about, but you find out later, of course. And then there's a lot of mysterious things going on in their town while they're trying to have this secret that they can view the stars in another universe. So that's kind of the setup. And this is it was compelling the whole way through for me. It's a little slow at first. You got to kind of deal with that if you're looking for any kind of action, but it picks up later, and the ending totally paid off for me. I have a lot of complaints usually about endings with modern shows like this, but the ending of this really paid off, and it was a good setup for, I hope, what ends up being a season 2. And obviously these two are great actors too. So, the writing, everything, acting was great. But this is a lot of fun. If you want, I don't know whether this seems to be a trend with Open Range, this kind of, real world but sci-fi kind of mixed kind of show. This is great stuff. I loved it. All right, and then I went here. Either one of you watched Stranger Things 4 yet?
Absolutely.
You watched the whole thing, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Nice.
you guys are killing me. I haven't had the time to watch.
Calm down, Patrick. Hold on. You guys will kill me in a little bit. So
Okay. What?
I think I know what's coming.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, Mike, this is good, right?
Yes. Yeah.
This is actually, I think this is the only season that competes with this season so far for me is season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
2 and 3. Yeah.
I'm amazed that they've improved.
Yeah.
And, the characters are great. With Max being added last year and Eddie this season, man, it's just so great. Great characters.
Yeah, Eddie's great. You getting the whole RDJ thing from Eddie?
The what?
Robert Downey Jr.?
No. What? In one scene, it's all set in the 80s, and they pull a lot of stuff from the 80s.
Yeah.
In one scene in the boathouse, the way he looked on camera, it reminded me of the character Eddie in The Howling. That wanted to meet.
Yeah.
That real weird. He had that haircut and everything. So I'm like, oh wow, his name was Eddie in there too. So I'm like, that's where they pulled it from. No, it's not.
Well, actually, before I started watching this, I saw I think it was a TikTok or whatever, of comparing lots of scenes of Eddie from Stranger Things 4 to a lot of scenes of Robert Downey Jr. and a lot of stuff. And man, he's like a spitting image to Robert Downey Jr. In his youth.
Kind of his mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah, with the way he acts and everything too. You'll appreciate that now more if you check it out, because that's the other thing they're doing different with this too, Patrick. So it's not a complete fail on your part, because they're actually splitting this into 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They're splitting season 4 into 2 seasons. So half of it's out now, and I think the other half comes out the end of this month, like 27th of this month.
Yeah,
or something.
There's not much time between.
Oh yeah, it says it right there on the screen.
Yeah, I keep hearing July 1st.
Yeah,
nice. You know what I wish? Target did the Blu-ray special edition season 1 and 2, and they didn't do 3 or 4. I guess they lost a lot of money because I bought them for $5 a piece.
Yeah, that's the problem. They were selling them dirt cheap, and they must have really overproduced, or no one's just buying them. So
yeah, I would love for them to finish it, because they're going to do 5 seasons total.
Yeah,
and,
really, they're doing 5 seasons? I thought this was the last one.
No, there's going to be a big time jump between 4 and 5.
Oh, okay.
All the actors, they're kids. You know how
Getting
kids
older.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like an It thing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like where they have to come back again to save their town again.
Who knows? Because seriously, I mean, there's stuff going on in this it's just blowing my mind.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I want to say, in full disclosure, I've actually only watched 3 episodes of this. I haven't watched the entire first, everything that's available. How many episodes are available now? 5? Is it 5?
8, 7.
7? Okay. But the big thing about this one that, aside for the fact that it's really good, is, man, this one is borderline too scary for Jessie. She doesn't like scary movies at all anymore. And she likes Stranger Things, so she's watching it with me, but she's had some moments, where she's looking away and telling me, tell me when I can look back, that kind of thing. This one's definitely, I think, easily the most creepy and scary of all of them, for sure. So
yeah, we debated on whether we were going to let Cora watch it or not. So
yeah,
we finally decided she can watch it with us.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's halfway through it, and she's like, I didn't have any nightmares last night. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told Ayla when she was checking it out a little bit. It was like, it was right before she was going to bed, and she wasn't watching with us. She just came in to say goodnight, and she looked at the TV and she got caught up in it. And I was like, hey, don't watch this right before you go to bed. You're going to end up having nightmares. But
yeah.
But anyway, it's good stuff. Obviously, Patrick, you need to check it out.
Yeah, well, that's also sort of the problem, because now Valor wants to watch it, and so that means starting all over again before we even get to 4, if we do let him watch it. So
gotcha.
It's fun to start over. We did that with Cora.
Yeah,
because even she was halfway through season 3 when we were finishing with this. So I said, come on, let's go catch up.
Well, we obviously watched them all, but we definitely had to watch all the recaps again. They've got those nice recaps, you can select as an episode, basically, that are like 15 minutes long or whatever, so we did that before we watched this. It helped a lot. So, and then I just want to talk about this for a minute. I finished He-Man and the Masters of the Universe on Netflix, and obviously we talked about this is more directed towards kids, but I just want to say I liked it from beginning to end. This is cool. It's a big recommend for anybody looking for this, so it was definitely good though. Especially it's really close to classic He-Man. So, and then same kind of recap on this one. I finished the latest season of Pacific Rim: The Black, and still great show. Big recommend on that one. Check it out if you like Pacific Rim, and I guess the CGI animation kind of look. That's what this is. That's what this show is. So if you like that, and then I finished this, and Halo on Paramount Plus. It's and it finished great. There's some complaints that mostly people like Tyler would complain about, and Lexi, I should say. They both kind of complained more than me. But I think the way it ended, it actually probably, ironically enough, ended in a way that people like Tyler and Lexi, meaning big Halo purists, would have liked the show to kind of begin as, is the way they ended it. So it's kind of a good setup for moving into season 2, which I sure hope that happens, because we definitely love this show. So then I wanted to talk about a couple trailers real quick before we get to the last thing that I'm assuming we're going to want to talk about the most.
Some of us.
Okay. All right. Has anybody seen the trailer for this? Or has anybody watched the first episode? I guess you can watch as well.
No.
We ran out of time. I think we probably would have watched it last night, but we ran out of time.
So I really don't have much interest in watching it. I watched the trailer. I mean, it is what it is. It seems fine. But Ayla's a big fan of this. She's excited about it. She watched the first episode. She said she liked it, but she also did tell me, Dad, I don't think you're going to like it. So I not only didn't have interest before, but especially since Ayla told me that, I'm probably going to pass on it as well. So maybe
like the actress that they've chosen looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. In my opinion, it looks good. That's for sure.
Yeah, it looks good as a character.
Yeah. I guess maybe I might have Ayla come give a review on this so we can stay topical with what everybody wants. And then another one I was considering before I watched the trailer, but I'm not really interested now after watching the trailer, is this. What do you guys think? You guys going to check this one out? What's up?
Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me. I mean, everyone complained about the CGI. They said they went back and fixed it up. I didn't really notice that much of a difference. But it looks like they're kind of sticking to, comic book origins and sort of like, comic book setup for, her life as a lawyer. And looks good to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair. I've never been a She-Hulk fan in general, so I don't know how legit everything is. So if you're saying, especially if it's going back to comic book origins, if I was into that, I would have probably appreciate this too. So I appreciate it. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the CGI, was a big issue. The storyline, I'll definitely give it a chance, but it was, the CGI just did not look good. So, I heard they were going to fix it. I haven't seen anything after the initial release of the trailer, so I didn't see any of the changes. But everybody keeps comparing it to Sonic when they went back and fixed that. So
yeah,
I have faith that they're listening to what people are saying and know.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
All right. Well, I guess I have to now too, because this is my segment, and you two can't watch something that's topical that I can't. So I guess I'm watching She-Hulk. Which is fine. I wasn't. Excuse me.
I'll probably end up not watching it. Just.
Yeah, that would be messed up. I'll be the one watching it and be like, "Oh, I have that time." That time. I'm not hating on it by any stretch. It's just it wasn't something I was looking to watch. But I'll check it out now that you guys are interested. All right, and then I have a feeling I'm set up for disappointment here. Has anybody watched the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I have not. I'll show myself out.
Pat?
Yeah, we're current.
Oh, thank God. What were you talking about then when you were saying?
I was talking about Mike, because Mike
he knew. He just knew that.
Oh, okay.
We got caught up in Stranger Things, so Emily and I were watching that. Marcus has been really busy. He wants to watch this with us. And when you're watching Stranger Things, it was difficult to get in the mood to watch this.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
So when we watch it, we really want to be in the mood to watch it.
Gotcha.
So we'll get caught up by next week. We hope to be caught up, which will be 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
We current next Fridays. Okay.
Well, I think it comes out Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, it's Wednesdays. Okay.
Yeah. So, Patrick, you want to go first? What do you think?
I'm liking it so far. Back when we first watched the trailer and talked about it here, I talked about Hayden Christensen, and you were like, "Well, we don't know yet." Well, we kind of did know, because unlike some other things like Spider-Man, they did announce Hayden Christensen as being on the show.
Well, did they? When I said we don't know yet, had they announced? I didn't think they had announced.
Yeah, it was official. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But I just wanted to drop it then, because if somebody didn't know that, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't walk in not knowing anything. You're better off. But I questioned at the time, how are these two going to interact? On Tatooine, they should not do that. Well, they found a way out of that, and it's in a way that, in retrospect, it should have figured it out. It's a perfect idea, really. They totally 180'd it in my mind. Probably won't. Maybe we won't see any more of a certain boy in this show again. Then they just 180'd it to another character, and we're following her around. So.
Mm-hmm. So that's one complaint that. So I'm gonna air Tyler's complaints too, because I'm kind of like you. I'm digging it so far. If I wanted to be picky, I guess with the things I'm going to say that Tyler's complaining about, I can see where he's coming from, but it's not really bothering me as much as him. But one is, they advertise Hayden, and we've gotten Hayden sort of, but not really. It's right. So who knows if that's going to change, obviously, in the future episodes. And then he was talking about how, and when I'm reading everybody critiquing it online, they're talking about how, what do we, 3 episodes in, and 2 of those episodes have been kind of the same episode with him saving Leia, obviously in different ways, but it's just getting Leia out, Oh, spoiler alert, everybody, and Mike, Leia's in this. If you didn't know.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with spoilers.
I keep liking it to a Baby Groot thing. They have to have a cute character in there that everybody loves, which it's working on my wife. She keeps watching this with me, and she just adores Leia, but she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think they picked a really good actress.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And so another complaint that I've heard is the kind of the grumpiness and the negative Jedi thing, which obviously everybody was bitter about with Luke and Last Jedi and all that. I'm totally fine with that. I've been saying this since The Last Jedi, that I think about, obviously, the only prior to Last Jedi old Jedi kind of attitude we experienced was Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, and he was a grump at first. He kind of had to be talked back into, let's be heroes, and not even really at first. We didn't get a happy, wise Yoda that everybody thinks of Yoda more as now until the prequels. Prior to that, it was kind of grumpy, negative. I mean, obviously he was training Luke and everything, but you know what I'm saying, Pat? Do you feel me on that, or
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think you're on track there.
Okay.
I think in episode 3 they played this really well with Obi-Wan. He was totally, he played it like he was totally knocked for a loop by finding out that Anakin was still alive.
Yeah.
And he was on his heels, man. He was not prepared for this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite scene of the whole first 3 episodes already is when she revealed that Anakin was still alive, and they did that really well, in my opinion. The shock and awe we felt through,
and even when they confronted each other, there's Obi-Wan's no match for him right now. No way. I can go into two huge complaints I have.
Okay, go.
One was, really, a little kid's going to get away from a Jedi in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, okay.
And the other one was, Vader is hot to get and track down Obi-Wan. He's going to walk through anything to get to him.
Yeah.
Including, forcing stormtroopers through some obstacles like fire to capture this guy again.
Yeah.
It was too easy,
Yeah. No, I have 2 complaints as well, and that's one of them. Yeah. The way he not only didn't do it in a way that it seemed like it would be easy for Vader to do, but he didn't even try. It was just like, as soon as the fires were kind of in the way, and that new robot, which obviously, which he's cool. I like him. I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
I do not. I know who's playing him for some reason.
Who's playing him?
Kevin Smith.
Really?
Get it?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, he's silent. Yeah, right. Is that what the reference is? Is that what you mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. And if you kind of visualize the droid, he kind of sort of looks like him in a way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, that's cool. I like that. I like the droid already, so I'm gonna like it even more with that. And I'm assuming they're probably gonna play him out like they did K2SO.
Yeah, maybe.
Which I'm a big K2SO fan. So anyway, though, yeah, as soon as that fire is in his way, he kind of he got away.
He's walking through that fire, man.
Yeah, how far away could he have been too? Even after the robot came and got him, they spent the next scene, I think, after kind of Darth Vader gave up. They were laying there for a minute too. It's not even like they were on the run right away. They laid there and they were kind of, helping Obi-Wan and everything at that point. So yeah, I thought that wasn't done well. And then I will say this, though, in defense of that, which, I'm usually the one that likes to, give a reason to forgive something. But I actually didn't do that in this case, but I must have trained my son well because Tyler gave me a reason. He says him and his girl speculated in a way to give it an excuse that he wants Obi-Wan to suffer, and he thinks Obi-Wan is suffering while he's on the run. So he wanted to play it out a little bit. That's how he's thinking about it in his head, that he wanted to play it out longer for Obi to suffer.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it that way.
Yeah, so we'll go with that for now.
Okay.
And then my other complaint is the Grand Inquisitor death.
Yeah, I was so confused.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Emperor killing Kit Fistu and the other two Jedi so quickly with Mace Windu. It was like there was no fight. It was just like this lady that's supposed to be nowhere near as powerful as a Grand Inquisitor. Obviously, she just kills him. Just boom, it's over.
But so this is the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. He dies in Rebels. So
exactly.
So how he what are you thinking? He comes back. He's not actually dead. Is that what you're thinking? Possibly?
I'm not gonna say anything because I went a little too far.
Oh, and you're digging
and looking
into that?
because I was confused and thinking I knew what was going on. I wanted to look at something, and so I will just leave that go, and maybe it'll probably play out in the rest of the series.
Okay, because I actually called it out too. I was a little confused myself when it first happened. I was like, "What? That can't be right." Because Rebels is actually Disney continuity too. It's not like they could be playing it out as that's not canon or whatever. But I was thinking at first, I was like, maybe that isn't. Maybe it's a different Grand Inquisitor because Grand Inquisitor's a name, a moniker or whatever. It's not actually his name, so maybe there's just a different one. And I was like, this guy's kind of got a fat head. He's different. He's different than the Rebels Grand Inquisitor. Maybe it's a different Grand Inquisitor. That's what my first thought. And Tyler was like, no, you're stupid. Just because the cartoon Grand Inquisitor looks different doesn't mean it's a different Grand Inquisitor. I was like, well, then they better come up with some answers later. I don't know. But
can't you have, if someone's Grand Inquisitor and they die, don't they just replace them with a new one?
Yeah, exactly. But this one looks exactly like the one in the Rebels. So
except for a bigger head. Okay.
Except for a bigger head, right? Yeah. And that's just because of the animation style, I guess, because everybody looks different that's in Rebels and is also in live action, So anyway, but yeah, overall, regardless of all that question mark with the continuity is, that scene was a little bit like, I don't know, disappointing. Why couldn't we at least have have her kill him in some tricky way when he's being a big baddie like the Grand Inquisitor is supposed to be, rather than just this seemingly simple death, So those are my big complaints, But once again, overall, I think it's good. Obviously, Obi-Wan's great, and Leia's great, and the story's fine for me. And it's only that's the other complaint is Tyler had, that this is only 6 episodes. I think, is it only 6?
Yep.
So they don't want to be wasting time on kind of filler episodes when it's just kind of the same story over and over again. They being people like Tyler, they want to get to some new stuff, So
right.
I heard, I don't know if this is true, that they went back and reshot some things in case they wanted to do a season 2. They left some things more open ended.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I definitely can't wait for more. I've been dying for this for a long time. So, but overall, it's got my approval. So check it out, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These are like this and the Boba Fett series. These are like little 6-issue miniseries, for comic books. It's just they've taken that 6-issue miniseries format and put it on the screen.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I was chatting with Tom here. He just sent me his 3 picks. He said, "Am I too late?" Yeah.
You said 10:30. You laid it out specific this week.
And unfortunately, 2 of his selections were in the top 3, and it would have changed the order.
So if something I wanted to win doesn't win, I can blame Tom, basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, geez, this doesn't look good for you.
Okay. You mean Tom? It doesn't look good for Tom. I'm going to read him the riot act.
Yeah, you only have one. No, you have two. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're good.
All right. So that's all I got.
I know this isn't what Mike watched, but
Okay. Yeah, no.
I watched Argo. I know I'm late to the show. Par for the course. Holy cow! Everybody knows. Well, everybody our age knows how things ended up. I was so nervous.
Yeah, that was done well. I really liked it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I was nervous. I'm like, just go, just let them through. Get in the plane.
Yeah, it's so great when they're able to give that kind of suspenseful feeling, even though you know the way this ends.
I already know.
It's like Titanic.
Yeah, you remember our friend Dave. Dave, you gonna go see Titanic? No, I know what happens. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, but Argo's good. So did you have anything else that you watched, Patrick, you may want to mention that I didn't mention?
Chelsea and I watched Under the Banner of Heaven. We watched all of that.
I was gonna mention that. That was one that got cut because it wasn't exactly, comics and collectibles. But yeah, I definitely watched it all too. Yeah, it was so good. I really liked it.
What'd you think, Patrick?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Garfield's he's such a good actor. You look at Hacksaw Ridge, Amazing Spider-Man. Obviously, we all love him in Amazing Spider-Man. And then this, yeah, really good.
I thought his partner was really good too.
Oh yeah, he was great. Yeah, they all were great. Everybody played a
Yep.
great role.
Just to let you guys know, those two characters are fictional. They didn't exist. Because I was watching it after we're done, like, well, because his faith really came into question. So
yeah, that kind of left
him
that.
up. Did he leave the church? Did he stay? What happened? Yeah.
Oh no, I'm a little disappointed now actually, because that was a big thing that I thought was more interesting. Obviously it's still good. I'm just I totally thought that was legit though, because that was a major, pivotal thing happening there constantly with his, being torn. Yeah, that was. And I was thinking that as I was watching it too, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this show if it was Christian, which obviously Mormons, all that being Christians, I guess, anyway. But just in general, if this was like directly related to my religion and this, because there's some old school stuff that people could say, that kind of thing. It had to be, and I was thinking that would be really hard from his perspective, actually really living it. But
right.
Yeah. I could imagine just being a modern day Mormon now watching that show and being like, oh man, they probably got all kinds of petitions to get the show canceled or something.
Maybe. I thought there might have been a slight comic tie-in because after the show ended, I went down a kind of a rabbit hole looking at the ties to the real people involved, and they mentioned an Allred on the show, and Mike Allred, the comic artist, is a Mormon. And I was trying to see if there's a tie there, and he had talked at one point about one of his ancestors, and it looks like it's two different Allreds from the past. But I wondered about that, and I was trying to check that out too, but didn't tie in exactly.
Okay. It's almost
right.
All right. So is that all you had then, as far as what you watched that I didn't watch?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mike, was that you checking out because you're getting ready or what's going on? Because you're on deck.
Okay. No, I was, Marcus kept poking his head in. I was looking to see what he needed.
Okay.
One thing, maybe for your segment next week, I think they've released the Sandman trailer.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw that it was released. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe check that one out next week.
Did you watch it already? Is it good?
I did watch it. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. It looks really, really
okay.
good.
Awesome.
So there's a little controversy over the actress playing the Death character. Instead of being white, she's black. So a lot of people are having issues with that. And I think that stems from we've got 30 years of this is how this character looks. So then I think that's where a lot of the issues are coming in, where, you know, people want to see that. I remember years ago when I would read the stories and I'm thinking, this is back when like 90210, I think, or no, Melrose, I think it was Jenny Garth or something like that. I'm like, oh man, dye her hair black. She's got the little nose. She'd look perfect as the Death character. Yeah. So I think for 30 years, people have this vision of actresses who would portray that. And then when you get something different, it's kind of like, okay, that's not what I expected.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it's obviously it's about representation, I guess, but they can do plenty of new stuff. They don't have to change old stuff to accomplish that. So I can't help but feel that, you know, when there's, you know, race and gender swapping going on, there's not exactly a positive intent behind it. You know, even though they try to sell it as just representation, I feel like that could be accomplished in different ways without ruffling the feathers of, like you said, people that are used to seeing a character a certain way for 30 years, you know. Yeah. So I don't know who exactly they're making happy with that, but, you know, it's their money.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah. So, all right, are you ready now?
Yeah, hit me up.
Are you sure? Okay, here we go. Awesome.
All right, here we go. All right.
I just have to start by saying this was super tough for me this week. Like, especially tough. Yeah, I don't know whether it seemed tough because we were away. It was just really hard.
I have a story on how tough this was for me.
Okay.
Okay, so the window for picking your top three to match our top three is closed.
And looking at the comments, we got no one.
No one. Dang it.
Anybody who's watching, you should have at least guessed, because you would have had a great opportunity to get 3 comics, but not anymore. That time frame is over.
It's over. Right. Tom, it's over. You're late. So let's run down the covers we have.
Okay.
And this was difficult for me. I had 5 that I selected, and I was stuck. So I called in the other resident expert in the house, my son Mark, and we sat down and he picked 5. He actually picked 7, but 2 of them I had already picked.
Okay.
So we've got Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood #2 with Ryan Stegman, King Spawn 11, Francisco Mattina, and he actually signed this cover. He has a little mat down in the corner. He never signed his work before that I ever noticed. The New Fantastic Four, Logan Lubera, Bounty Hunters 24, and this is a Chris Sprouse variant cover. Fantastic Four #44, Jorge Fornes, and this is the variant for those. This is the last one, I think. I know Daredevil still has come out of the blind or the shade variant. Wolverine 22, Adam Kubert, and Blood Syndicate #2, Dexter Soy. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty #1 by Scotty Young. And Spider-Man 2099, Exodus #2, Scan, Srisuan. And that's reading my chicken scratch I had written down, so hopefully I got it correct. And then a new type of cover for us, Bill and Ted Roll the Dice #1, the photo variant.
That is the only one that wasn't hard for me to not pick. I'm not a photo variant fan, actually.
Yeah, well, that is also the only one that did not receive a single vote.
Yes, I am on par so far.
I feel bad. That's one that Marcus had selected.
Oh, sorry about it, Mark. I mean,
that's right.
It's cool, but yeah.
He didn't pick it either, though.
Oh.
So it's all right. Now, you know, Tom chimed in a little bit late. He definitely would have moved these around a little bit
Okay.
because it was a tight race. And at number 3, we have Wolverine 22, Adam Cooper. And that is, that's such a great shot.
It is awesome. Yeah. Yep.
And
I do believe I picked this one.
yes, you did. And Patrick did as well.
I'll probably grab 2 copies of this, one for me and one for the Whatnot Show.
It's a number. No, it's not a variant, but
It's not.
No, you can grab it for the Whatnot Show.
Well, I'm trying to stick with that.
I thought this was going to be number 1.
This is awesome.
Yep, Ryan Stegman. I mean, everything Ryan Stegman does, I think, is amazing.
And I picked this one.
Let's see. You did?
Yeah.
And Patrick didn't, but Valor did.
Why are you shaking your head, Pat? You don't like this one?
Because he was saying Patrick didn't pick it. I didn't pick it. I didn't like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like Ryan Stegman to me. It doesn't look like his typical.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lexi actually told me she hated this cover. She thought it was trash.
It looks like he's trying to emulate another artist here or something. I don't know what it is about this one.
I like it a lot, obviously.
It might be the black and white. You know, it's. I think you do lose a lot when something isn't in color.
Well, I love the black, white, and red, or black, white, and blood, themed covers or stories or whatever. It's all.
Yeah.
I like the way they look in general. Yeah.
They should do like a black, white, and blue or something. It still rolls off your tongue nicely, and I think the blues would look kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what the blue would be. It'll just look cool. All right. So basically, what happened on the Moon Knight and the Wolverine, they both received 7 votes. So my non-scientific tiebreaker broke the tie, put this at number 2. So it basically gave this 8 votes, or I would say 7.5. We'll go 7.5.
Okay.
Because the number 1 book ended up with 8 votes, but I wasn't about to, have the tie like that. Anyway, let's not overcomplicate things, right? And number 1, King Spawn. Speaking of black and white and no color, King Spawn 11, Francesco Mattina.
I have this thing with Spawn covers. I don't know why, but I'm resistant to picking Spawn covers because I think I'm gonna be like, you're just picking it because it's Spawn, which this is obviously a great cover, but that's probably why I didn't pick this one. But everybody in my family did. Yeah, well, yeah. This, yeah. I mean, it's a great cover.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I said, I thought Moon Knight would win. I was surprised that this one.
I even forget what my third pick was now. What was it? Oh, I picked Fantastic Four, didn't I?
No. Oh, wait. Yeah, you picked New Fantastic Four, number 1.
Yeah, New Fantastic Four. Yeah, I love that cover. Yeah, that was awesome. I think, I love the art in that cover, and then I thought it was fun. That's why I justified not picking this cover, was because while this is great, it's black and white, not much going on, so I went with the more fun cover.
Yeah, I really wish that Art Adams had done that New Fantastic Four.
It looks Art Adam-y, right? Yeah.
Yeah, when I see those characters all on the same page, it's like, if it's not Art Adams, it just doesn't look right to me.
Right. So how many did you get right, Pat?
I think 2.
Oh, so you picked this one too?
Yeah, Patrick got 2.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got 1. Marcus got 1.
Well, awesome.
We put the list together and we each got 1.
Well,
here's here. Sorry. Let's put this up there.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you see the Moon Knight has the asterisk after the 8 because it got 8 due to the extra tie-breaking vote.
Right, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I'll know better. I'm just gonna pick Spawn when my instinct, because I love Mattina too. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So what were Tom's picks, real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, let me pull those up. So Tom picked Wolverine, which would have given that 8.
Right.
Spider-Man 29.99, which didn't make the cut, and King Spawn, which would have given that 9.
So it would have been Kingspawn still would have been first.
Right.
Then it would have
And
been a
then-
tiebreaker between Moon Knight and Wolverine.
Wolverine would have been second, and Moon Knight would have stayed at 7. So
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have been 9-8-7. It would have been perfect. Yeah.
right. Yep. So yeah,
Interesting.
that's it. It was a rough week. I was, nothing really. I think Patrick and I chatted a little bit about this. Nothing really jumped out at me this week. It was tough.
That's shocking to me you say that, because I was saying this week was so hard, because literally when I was looking at them all, I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. Every single one.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to pick 3 when I just said, oh my God, that's awesome 9 times?
Yeah.
Because I didn't say that for the Bill and Ted one.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, so I think, you did a great job. It seemed,
Thanks.
yeah. Can you share that link again with me? You've probably shared this link with me like 100 times, but can you share it again with me? I just need to add those 10 to my pull box again.
What link?
I think our Gateway's link to just email them to tell them, hey,
right.
put these in my box.
Yeah. Follow them on Facebook.
I do, except my Facebook feeds all kinds of stuff. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll send it.
All right, thanks.
Because I had to go back in. Marcus, when we get to talking about the whatnot, and Marcus was on a Scotty Young roll. And when he saw that, he's like, I want that. So I had to go back in yesterday and say, hey, this is my second pre-order.
And that's the A cover too, right? That's the A cover, right?
No. It's
Oh,
a
it's
Scotty
not?
Young variant. No, it's.
Oh, it is a variant? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's open. What's it, the B cover then, I guess? Because it's open order. That's your rule, right?
C or D. It's open order. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought open order wasn't past A or B. They go for.
Yeah, there's quite a few because
Well, I guess that's dumb. Whenever they have 1,000, Superman 1,000, they have 30 covers. I guess they're all open order, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marcus is now, he's always liked Scotty Young since he's got that Tiny X-Men Avengers book.
Yeah.
And then he went off spending all my money Friday night.
Yeah, let's talk about that now. Let's just skip right into that right now, okay?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we have a show on Whatnot now, and I use we loosely because I'm the only one that's really done anything so far, but hopefully that changes. I know Mike's talked about being in it first, but anytime you want to, Patrick, you're welcome as well. And I can actually share, just like we have here, where it can actually have 2 screens where you can be on the screen with me, and we can, you can have a book, and I can have a book. Back, we can go whatever I'll be in control what we put up for sale, but it could be on your screen, So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we could do that whenever you guys want to, because I have a blast with it. So yeah, we're talking about Whatnot, the app. It's a live auction app. It's great in my opinion for multiple reasons. I would say mostly because it's really fast. I have minute auctions, and sometimes I feel like those are too long. Most places, especially if they've got a lot of viewers, will set it at like 30 seconds to 15 seconds. And what's awesome about it is you really can't be sniped like in eBay when the auction ends, because anytime someone bids, it adds time to the auction, which makes it, kind of interestingly suspenseful when it gets to the end like that. I still kind of wait until there's only 2 or 3 seconds left before I'll bid, to try to minimize the time as much as possible. But yeah, I've been back and forth with a few people, and it's pretty exciting. And so I do that. We do that Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Whatnot. And we have the same username as we have on eBay, Xcellar_comics. So you could follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. And also what's great about Whatnot is there's a bunch of shows going on at one time. So when I'm a buyer, I'll just hop from show to show to show, like immediately.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot of fun. And
yeah, there were some guys that popped in and out on yours Friday.
Yeah, I think it seems like that's kind of a typical thing, because I've gotten Lexi and Tyler are both into it now too. Lexi's into it for Pops. Tyler's into it for comics as well, and
Tyler's in it.
Action figures too. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's trying to bid me up, punk.
Yeah, Pat, were you there whenever they were bidding against each other?
Yeah.
That was a funny moment.
Yeah, we had private
figured out
conversations that
maybe
were
what it
pretty
was.
funny too. When
I was
I
loving
bumped him up, I bumped him up, and then I just sent him a text. I'm like, "You knew that was coming, right?"
Yeah. Is that what you were going to say when you said you wanted to say something at the beginning and you didn't want to say it yet? Because
Oh no, I try to. You've got a lot going on there, so I try to help you out. You'll just throw out like the cover artist or this or that.
Yeah.
And when the Bill Sienkiewicz book came up, I obviously we've all been fans of his for 30 plus years. I still haven't taken the time to learn how to spell his name correctly. So I'm like, oh, Sienkiewicz. So I start typing. That's wrong. It's auto correcting. And I'll start trying to get out, go online, copy and paste the proper spelling for his name. And by the time I did all that, you pulled it. You're like, oh, that's Sienkiewicz.
I moved on.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, had I known.
Yeah, that's what's so great about it, in my opinion. Is there's really no format to it. If someone comes on, and it happened, I was very thankful. We had like a pretty good average of 8 to 10 viewers. I think 6 to 8, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around that. The whole time.
At all times, yeah.
Yeah. And whenever people come in and they're like, "Hey, you got this," then I have it. I'll just change up what I had planned to do and put that up. And I think a couple of those were people that had watched the previous show and remember I'd had them and they didn't get them for whatever reason that week, so they asked me to put it up again this week. I know that's at least one of them I sold was that way. So
sweet.
So yeah, check us out there. It's a lot of fun. I plan on that expanding, with regards to what I sell. I want to start selling trading cards because I got a lot of them that are just collecting dust that I don't do anything with anymore. And then, I've got a lot of other random toys that I can put on there as well. And I'm excited about doing a lot of things with that. Not to mention, obviously, it's called the Very Variant Show. And I like to point this out during the show, it's because I primarily have variants, but it's only the Very Variant Show. It isn't the Completely Variant Show. Yeah. But the other things I like to put up are number ones and first appearances as well. I like to kind of stick there, but I think I've stuck pretty true to that so far. So everything's either a key or number one or variant,
Yep.
And I'm working hard too. People will request what they want. Mm-hmm. And, I kind of got to take a shot to trust that those people are ever going to come back if I buy it this week and I'll have it next week,
Yeah.
And I got to try to find it at value too, but like especially the first week, a couple guys. So I really want to get on top of this. We're asking about hip hop variants. Are you guys familiar with those at all?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
There's the demand for those. It's like a niche market, but man, people will pay a pretty penny for those. Basically, it's you've got what they do is they'll take like hip hop albums, classic hip hop albums.
Okay.
And they'll do a variant for the comic book based on that hip hop.
Homaging the album. Okay.
Yeah, and they're really well done.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, and that's what I'm going to stick to. What I like. I'm not just going to buy. If I can't trust what I like, what can I trust? So I'm, there's obviously hundreds of them. So I think I got like 5 of them on the way from eBay. I couldn't get them in a week,
right.
But I've got like 5 coming from eBay. So as soon as I get them, they'll be added to the show. And I think I'm going to try to find a number that I want to stick with, rather than just continuing to do the same ones over and over again. I'll add 5 each week and take 5 away and try to track that somehow to where the freshness of the show stays up. And then if someone wants something that I have that I didn't plan on showing, like I said, I can just add it later. Sorry.
I have a stack of stuff here that I had ordered for Xcellar, and just so happens some of them are variants. So I've got that stack that I'll drop off that you can kind of interweave whenever you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
One of them's a 3-book lot. I think those are kind of fun too.
Yeah. I tried the 2-book lot this last week. Didn't go, but and also I was thinking about at some point trying to get that going in Xcellar so we can actually be around all our books.
Say, oh, I want this, and we can just go pull it out of a box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got to get those in order.
Yeah, right.
Alphabetical order. So Patrick, if you need something to do for a weekend, let us know. Come down. The three of us can probably make quick work of it.
Oh yeah, that's another apology, Pat. You were down here, and we,
Right.
That's when all of our wrecked life happened. So that sucked. We couldn't see you. So
I could have been in Xcellar organizing all the comics while you were on.
Gummit, we should have at least just offered that.
Yeah. Hey, here's the key. Hook us up.
Yeah.
All right, he would have been in there the whole time going, this is great. You're trying to organize stuff. We all do it. Even if you're organizing your own collection, like, oh, look at that. You organizing something that you've never looked through.
It's even better. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I got these 10 in order. I looked through this 1,000, but I only got these 10 in order. Well, you and I did it. We worked up there in Gainesville that one weekend, that one Saturday. We basically got paid in books.
Yeah.
They had these dollar bin books, and we organized all day. It was open to anybody. Anybody, they put it on their webpage. Anybody can come and volunteer. It was Kevin and I. We were the only two.
Yeah, we were the ones that showed up.
Dude, we had so much fun. And knowing we're getting paid in books, we're putting stuff in order. It's like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, we were organizing and separating what we wanted to get paid for the organizing as we were doing it at the same time. It was great.
That's where I got that. I think of Walt Simonson Fantastic Four autographed. I'm like, oh, I love this. Opened it up. Boom.
Yep.
Nice. Front page signed.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So this is a perfect segue into, finishing up with Whatnot. Please follow us on Whatnot show, the Very Variant Show on Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Username Xcellar_comics. Please follow us and just check out Whatnot in general. Even if you don't follow us, I think it's a great app. I think it's a lot of fun. So good segue into that is this is another thing I wanted to do. So we're getting ready to do Pat's favorite segment next. You got a deal? Are you for real? And I think rather than saying noon on Saturday, what I was planning on doing was bringing up the You Got a Deal? Are You for real lot during the Whatnot show.
Mm-hmm.
And say, hey, you can get these for this price. And after the Whatnot show is over, that's when the deadline to get the You Got a Deal? Are You for real? lot is over as well. That'll be the good time frame for that.
Week, right?
Yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, cool. You guys about ready?
Yeah. Hold on, let me check out here. Let me sharpen my pen.
Okay. Here we go.
You got a deal. Are you for real?
Okay, now the first thing I want to say about this is the lot. I think I already mentioned this to you guys, but this is the lot that I had mentioned before. Was a lot that a guy told me he collected for 40 years, and he was just randomly sending these out. This is that one now.
Okay.
So this one we should see signs of what I just said in this.
Okay.
All right.
No Valiant. Sorry.
Right. Yes. Hopefully there's no Valiant, or I'm going to call foul right away. So, all right, we'll go ahead and start with Mike on this one.
Okay.
So we got West Coast Avengers, number 57. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. I love that cover too. That's a great cover. I know I always say that, and I mean it. I mean it. The photocopy variant comes up, I'll honestly say I don't like it. And the way he shipped these two, so this is for you, Patrick. He just bagged 2 books in one bag and board. But this one's got some like 4 or 5 spine ticks. So West Coast, number 70.
Are they going to be like that same book in the bag like that? We don't know yet.
I'm looking at the second one now, and it's the same way. So I'm going to say yes, but I honestly, I don't know yet. Yeah.
So you just want to go ahead and take the first 2 then, Mike?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Since it's the same title, it'll be easier for you to look up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got 70. Yep.
Okay. All right. Now we got
Right.
we got Astro City. It's a Vertigo book. I don't know anything about this. You guys know anything about this? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, is that Kurt Busiek that does that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I never read those. I wish that I had.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. I can't, they've bounced around from publisher to publisher.
Yeah.
Is that number 15, Kevin? I can't quite see that.
27. It's right there
27.
at the end of Astro City.
Oh, I love when they do that. That's
Yeah. I actually thought the title of the book was Astro City 27 at first.
yeah, that's how I always miss the numbers when they put it right in the logo like that.
And then there's 28 on the back.
Okay.
And that's got Alex Ross's in it too, or does it too, right?
Yeah, Alex Ross does the covers. It's Brett Anderson usually is the penciler. Brent Anderson.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like it. That's cool. All right, so let's just stick with Pat on this one. So we got Astro City 29. Who doesn't love a nice run, right?
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I love that cover.
Yeah.
It's hard not to like an Alex Ross cover.
Yeah. And Astro City 30. Which that one's cool too. That's awesome. Is that Mothman?
No, I didn't know that Vertigo. I know, Astro City have been different publishers. I didn't realize that Vertigo had done them with DC.
All right, Mike, this is you.
Yeah.
Sweet. Got some Dark Horse, but my second favorite Dark Horse, Conan, number 28.
Another Kurt Busiek book.
It's good stuff.
And
like
Eric Powell.
Oh, Eric Powell too. Nice. Dang.
And then on the back is 29.
Okay.
Those are some cool Tony Harris covers too. I
It
believe.
says special guest writer Mike Mignola, right? See that?
Yeah.
I'll talk about it with what I read today, but I'm in a Conan thing. I got a Conan thing going on right now. All right. This is yours, Pat, and they aren't the same on both sides. So this just first one will be for you. X-Force Annual number 1. I love some X-Force. I'm going to talk about X-Force today a little bit with my what I got. This is all topical stuff for me. All right, Mike, this is you. Infinity, part 1 of 6.
Is that a variant? That's a Mark Brooks cover.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So if this doesn't, well, this will fit perfect into the very variant show. If someone doesn't grab it before then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! I didn't even tell everyone. I didn't even build up with this at all. Anybody watching this right now can get all these books for what we paid, which is $25 plus shipping, regardless of what we show. And, these fine gentlemen with me are calculating its value so we can let you know at the end to help you decide that you definitely want them. All right, Pat, this is you. Oh, man, this has got like a slight tear on the staple. This one's definitely the worst of the batch so far. Yeah. Silver Surfer, 35. I'd call that a $1 book off the bat. Unless it's some kind of key I don't know about.
Yeah, it looks like a heavy spine tick in the right under the rainbow part too.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of them there. Yeah, it's in bad shape. Bad seller. Bad.
There's a Fantastic Four on the other side of that.
Yeah. Got multiple camera angles going on. Yeah. There you go. Fantastic Four, 366. That's you, Mike.
Yep.
And this one is in good shape. It does have one spine take with color break. All right, this is you, Pat. Got Wolverine Origins, number 9. This is in good shape too. That's got to be what's his name. That ain't Wolverine. What's that guy's name?
Dakin. No, that's him.
Yeah. I know. I'm just kidding. It's just
Yeah.
I don't like the art. I just don't like the art.
That is a terrible cover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all kinds of issues. Not just the art, but just the
Just the clothing. It's like her right hand is kind of like a caressing.
Yeah, she's gonna kiss him.
Oh, right.
She looks like she wants to kiss him while he wants to eat her face off.
Yeah, but then of course with the pistol and the other arm, that's just not good.
Yeah, who is that?
Mark Texeria.
Yep.
Which is crazy because I don't usually dislike his stuff. He phoned that one in. He's like, "What? Yeah, I got 20 minutes. I got you covered."
This one's for you, Mike.
Yep, we stand on guard.
We stand on guard number 1. You familiar with this?
Absolutely, Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah.
The artist, I can't remember his name there. He's from Canada, and Brian's from Ohio. So it's kind of an interesting.
Steve Scrosey.
Yeah.
Scrosey. Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a war between the U.S. and Canada. It's a pretty interesting book.
Cool. Sounds like that one would be worth the $25 by itself, and it's in good shape too.
Sounds like it, but you would need I think it was a 6-issue series.
Yeah. All right, here we go, Pat. I'm just gonna say this first. It's in good shape. Looking at it, nice. And I like this cover, even though we all know who it is. Bubblegum presents Weapon X number 77. I don't hate Barry Windsor Smith, okay?
I love that cover. I love that whole that run right there, the Weapon X run.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's a great book.
I need to get that in a trade because I reread my singles, but they're starting to get a little too valuable to keep reading those.
All right, this one's you, Mike. And if you want to take both of these because they are the same.
Yeah, I'll do them.
This is got a little spine roll to it, but it's not bad.
After you put these up, change it from Mike's top 3.
Oh crap! Yeah. Thanks. Sorry.
Joe Quesada, he just I haven't read anything about it, but he just left Marvel.
Oh yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah. So you got Wolverine Origins number 7 and number 8.
Okay.
It's a great cover too. Yeah, I like 7 better. That's awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, I like 7 as well.
All right, more Wolverine Origins. If you want to stay on that, we got 3. Got 3 and 4, Mike.
Okay.
I'm always torn about this cover. I don't know if I like it or not, actually.
Yeah. I like Brooks, but that one's just too monotone. Need a splash of color in there.
Yeah.
Well, he did. Did he do them? I think there was a detective run where I think Brooks did the covers. Similar to that. That was cool.
That's interesting as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Pat, this you. Well, looks like this will do it. Last two are for Pat. Oh, no, they're different. But this is awesome. I'm a sucker for the gimmicky cover. Death of Wolverine. 2 of 4. And it's, what do you call this kind of cover again? It's the
Chromium or something like that.
Yeah, Chromium. Yeah. But that's awesome. I love it. It's definitely one I'm going to grab if no one else wants it. No one buys it. And then the other one, I guess this one Mike will finish this one. Wolverine 50.
Okay.
Never been a Loeb lover, but I like it. It's good.
Well, he's the writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Usually him and Tim Sale work together.
See, this is why you guys are in charge of this conversation stuff, because I totally thought, like my entire life, I thought Loeb was an artist.
See, going back to the other cover, I think this is that same artist. I don't think it's Mark Brooks. I think it's that Bianchi on the cover there. Yeah.
Yeah, but he did his Thanos. What was that miniseries that he did with Thanos? Thanos Rising or something like that. Wow, it was just beautiful.
So that's it. So that was pretty sweet. I believe that's a 40-year-old's collection. He's obviously saving the sweet stuff, but there's some pretty cool stuff in there.
No Valiance.
No Valiance. No other independents we haven't heard of before. So not bad. My bet is going to be that it's worth more than 25, but we'll see. And just a reminder to everybody again, you can get everything that I just showed for $25 plus shipping up until the end of our Whatnot show that runs at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The very, very end show. So grab it while it's good. And the way you grab it, too, I guess since we'll have it on the Whatnot show, I'll have it up in an auction there. Or actually, I'll just put it as buy it now there for that. You can do that on the Whatnot show as well. But before that, all you have to do is email me at let me see. Let me confirm it since it's been a while. You got a deal lot is mine at gmail.com. Spelled out completely. YOUGOTADEALLOTISMINE at gmail.com. You got a deal lot is mine. You email me there. First person to email me there that they want it, it's theirs for $25 plus shipping. All right, let's hear the good news, Pat.
41.
All right, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Yep.
Mike?
46.
Okay.
87.
$87.
I will say that Surfer book, if it would have been in better condition, would have been probably like a $20 book.
Is that right?
I counted it as 5.
Okay.
Generously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still say that's a deal though, even if it's it's like $85 for $25 worth of books. And there's some nice ones in there that I'd actually like to have. So it's not bad.
Yep.
Right?
It's good.
All right, we got a winner.
It's a deal.
Okay. So just a reminder too, we used to go into Pat's segment here, but we wanted to kind of keep what we're talking about in the same order. We're on comic books right now, so we're going to move into something else aside from Pat's collectibles right now. All right, nice. Mike, you want to go first this week?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Take it away.
I gotta get prepared. I was taking a note. Okay, so I did a lot of reading here. I've got Something is Killing the Children. This is volume 2 and 3 in the trade paperbacks, which covers issues 6 through 15. James Tynion IV is the writer, and Werther Del Adera is the artist. And I'm loving this. I'm reading. You got to read the trades. If you have these individually, you can't read them because there were too much. I did a little searching real quickly. These are 9.8s. Number 1 sells for $800. Number 2 is 130 to 180, and number 3 is 150 to 180. So yeah, you got to read the trades on this. Here we get the introduction of Aaron Slaughter, the Old Dragon, the Order of St. George, which is part of the House of Slaughter. So we're getting characters within these issues that end up showing up in the House of Slaughter series that's coming out, which I think is a good idea that Tynion did it this way. So we kind of get the backstory on where Erica came from and why she's doing what she's doing without taking up pages within this title. So we're getting the backstory in House of Slaughter. I imagine. I haven't read them, but I know that's where those characters are. So I think he's kind of filling in that story over there where he can just continue the fast pace of the Something is Killing the Children storyline. And, we talked about Stranger Things a little bit ago. This isn't exactly like Stranger Things, but it there are monsters. Kids are involved, obviously, in the title. And with these monsters, the only ones that can see them are children. Adults can't see them. And obviously the Jessica Slaughter can, and the Order of St. George, the people within the House of Slaughter, there's some reason that they can see them as well. I'm sure they covered that later on in this series or in the House of Slaughter books. So we'll find out there. And this is definitely a get it for me. It's very fast paced. If you like horror books, this is definitely a get it. My one complaint, and this goes to Werther's artwork, not necessarily his artwork, it's how he lays the pages out. A lot of times you'll get, page and then another page, you just read it one page at a time. Other times it's 2 pages together, but you don't realize that until the second row. Normally what they'll do is they'll take one of the panels in the center and they'll kind of lay it over into the second page. Well, he doesn't do that until the second row of panels. So you read that the top 2 panels, and then you go down in the middle. That's where it makes the connection. So I'm finding myself every time I turn the page looking down halfway to see if it lays over into the second page, so I know my proper reading order. That's a little bit frustrating, but other than that,
even that happens every time. It happens fairly regularly, I think. Yeah,
he does it a lot in this, and that's my only complaint on it. Everything else is great. I like it. Fast paced, great artwork, good stuff. So this
Sorry.
That's right.
I was just gonna say I actually got a couple of these from Whatnot that I felt like I got for a good deal that I'm gonna sell on the next show. I'm not trying to keep Whatnot in the conversation, but I wanted to tell you which ones they are so you can tell me what you think. Let me see real quick. Number 16. I got the regular cover and the cover with no trade dress. Both of those for like $15. So, what do you think? Did I get ripped off or what? Look it up.
But,
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean 16 is the I'm looking this up is the origin of Erica Slaughter, the first appearance of Jessica Slaughter. So you've got a first appearance, an origin on there.
Okay.
And the big money books are the early ones.
Right.
That's the way a lot of stuff goes, especially with the indie books.
Yeah.
But with the introduction later on, and then with the House of Slaughter going on, it's going to give more backstory to those characters. I don't think that's a bad price.
So might want to hold them for a little bit. Sounds like too. Then, huh? Maybe.
I would pretty much hold anything with this title for now.
Yeah.
I think it's been optioned, but like everybody says, everything's been optioned. This could make a really good. Like I said, it's comparable to Stranger Things a little bit. This could make a great Netflix show. Really good.
Is it a little bit more geared towards adults though? Is that why you keep saying sort of Stranger Things, basically?
Yeah. Well, the language in the book, which they can always tame that down, but it's pretty violent. The monsters are brutal, and what the monsters are doing are brutal. I mean, it's in the title, so that would definitely make it more mature. Just the theme.
Yeah, they actually had a disclaimer at the beginning of Stranger Things. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, because of the Texas stuff.
For Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't. The parallels aren't perfect with the reason for the disclaimer. I understand the reason for the disclaimer. After.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that too. I forgot. That's the best way to do it. Instead of changing it or pulling it,
Just
put the
disclaimer.
disclaimer up there. Allow people to make the choice for themselves. They can say, you know what, I'm not ready for this. Don't watch it.
Agreed.
So, it was well done.
All right, Pat, you want to go next?
Sure.
Did you read She-Hulk 2 yet?
3.
Oh, you read 3 also, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I read the one where you're back out, and I can certainly see where you were coming from.
And then that cover for what, 4 or 6 or whatever.
Looks like we know what's going to be happening in that issue.
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'm going to read it. I don't care. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let me find it here. Okay, so I read a couple Mike Mignola books from Dark Horse. I read Radio Spaceman Mission to Numa 4, number 1 and number 2. This is written by Mike Mignola, and the artist is Greg Hinkle, who I don't believe I'm familiar with until this book. That's his art on the cover for number 2 there. I'll switch back to number 1 with the cool Mignola cover because that's my preference. But basically what you see the character, that is Radio Spaceman on the cover.
Okay.
Sorry?
I just said okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
He popped up in Mike's charity drawings that he was doing during the pandemic. Just a new character he created, and he decided, there's a story here that he needed to tell. So he decided to whip up this 2-issue series, and I'll say right off the bat, 2 issues probably isn't enough. You want to see more about this character. He's pretty unique. Well, unique. You can sort of see Hellboy similarities.
Yeah.
But he's a neat character himself, and basically that like I said, that's Robot Spaceman on the cover. He's being controlled somehow remotely by this older fellow. They wake it drops you right in. They wake some sort of organization wakes this older gentleman up in the middle of the night and says, "Hey, we got troubles. Radio Spaceman is needed." So he basically goes into this mission control room. It's like a steampunky setting, and he plugs into all this equipment, and he's able to control this. We don't know what he's sort of like a skeleton in a spacesuit. And he can speak remotely through him. He activates the spaceman remotely. We don't know how. Basically, something is happening in space. We don't know how far away it is. Doesn't matter, I guess. But he can remotely control this. And basically, his mission, there was a spacecraft, I'm assuming it has ties to the organization Radio Spaceman works with, that it crashed on a planet. Apparently, one of the crew members has gone rogue, and they send Radio Spaceman in to investigate. And he arrives on the planet and finds out that the rogue crew member is trying to resurrect an ancient god, like a big, huge kaiju sort of Lovecraftian creature on the planet. And he sets to taking him out. Meanwhile, bleeding into number 2, you learn that the spacecraft was transporting a mysterious cargo. And in the midst of the crashing of the spacecraft and all the shenanigans with the awakening of this elder god, it turns out that it was like a space vampire that was in this coffin. It escapes and starts causing havoc. Radio Spaceman has to deal with him too. He gains. There's a lot going on here, a lot you're thrown into, but it's all cool. And then of course one of the other crew members, a female, turns out that she is also a vampire, but she's a good vampire. And she's on Radio Spaceman's side, and together they try to take down the rogue vampire from the coffin, and also deal with the giant kaiju creatures that inhabit this planet. But I thought it was great. I hope they do more. I don't know if Mignola has plans to do more.
He probably will. If this does as well as it sounds like it should, he probably
yeah.
will. Yeah.
But I never know how well his books sell. You know, he sort of has a niche audience, and it from the reactions on the Hellboy boards, it went over well. He was already sort of a popular character previous to the series, just because of the look, and how he appeared in the sketches. People were intrigued by him. One thing I kind of liked, just to wrap it up real quickly, was that he basically has this. Again, the person controlling Radio Spaceman is an elderly gentleman, so his crew is sort of, I think, aging out with him also, and he's complaining. Radio Spaceman has like a ray gun, and he takes a couple shots at a creature or whatever, and apparently his support staff, Radio Spaceman's support staff, forgot to load extra cartridges for his gun, and it's sort of like a banter back and forth. He kind of reminds me of like Jerry on Parks and Rec. Nobody likes him, but he's doing his job the best that he can. He's actually probably doing his job better than most people would do it, but Radio Spaceman likes to pick on him. But yeah, so it's a definite must-have as a Mignola fan, and to get it for the people probably coming from the outside. It's a fun story, 2 issues and done. And you're out. Maybe they'll do more, maybe they won't. But I really enjoyed it.
Can I see that issue 2 again?
Sure.
I wanted to see it how someone else drew the other guy. Yeah, I like his artwork there. I've never heard of him either. That looks great.
Yeah, he was good. It's another one of those situations, like we have talked in the past, like Step by Bloody Step, where this artist has free reign. He's like on an alien planet, can draw all kinds of crazy stuff, and it all looks great. And the storytelling, as far as the artwork goes, is really good too. So yeah, check it out.
Sounds like fun.
It was.
I got to grab that this week as well on my list, because I think I've decided I'm just going to stop subscribing, and I'm just going to get every week whatever we have in the Big 3 or the Get It or Forget It reviews. But seriously, I want to check that out too, because I was never really a Mignola fan at all until we've kind of had you in our life, and you've definitely made activated more of appreciation from me personally, at least.
Yeah, and let's say you're sort of, I think Mike's maybe mentioned this in the past, you don't know where to start. This is a good, you jump right in and you go from there and see if
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm looking through the previous Dark Horse section, his section, I usually just skip right over it because a lot of it is in the Hellboy universe, and it's like, oh, man, I've got some, but it's like I'm not going to get more and be 3/4 of the way through where I need to be. So it's refreshing to see this is, 2 issues, jump right in right now at the beginning, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I have this to point out before I go to my review. I'm bitter right now.
Ruh-roh.
There was only 21 books in that lot.
Uh-oh.
So first of all, this guy's going to get a bad review from me.
Maybe they're sandwiched in behind something.
Yeah, check everything, because remember, you were getting ready. That Fantastic Four book was kind of sneaking in there.
There's probably a Hulk 181 in there somewhere.
Probably.
Or a bunch of Valiants.
Yeah, they're all pretty tight. So I can't, I don't think I'm missing a one in between. They're all pretty tight. So I'm 99% sure you're right though. I'm gonna take them all out and get them bagged separately before I give somebody a bad review. I don't really like doing that anyway. And I'll talk to him first if he wants to make it. If he wants to make it right before I give a bad review anyway, I go that way anyway as well. Yeah. But I will say this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 4 books to that lot from the Xcellar collection with at least a value of $10.
Nice.
And I'll probably talk about it. I can talk about it when I do the podcast, and then we can post it on our various social media as to what those 4 books will be too. So then that'll automatically make the lot worth 97, because you said 87.
Yeah.
So 4 books of at least $10. And say hypothetically I go through here to see if there's books I missed, and I did. If they don't, the value of this is going to be at least worth $97 when it's all said and done. And I'll share all the other various ways what those other 4 books are, or what the other 4 books are. But I know he said it was 25 books, so I was thinking it ended kind of quickly too. I wanted more, and it was just over. Is that how you guys were feeling too?
Yeah, I was like, boy, this was easy today,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
so this was easy.
So on to what I read, and I'm starting to be like you guys. So I read the all new, all different Savage Avengers #1.
I almost read that. I read the first page thinking I'm going to do Savage Avengers this week.
Yeah.
I'm glad I put it down.
#2. Following you guys. I want to be like you guys. So anyway, this is really good. I really enjoyed it. This is by, I'm going to butcher these names, David Papose is the artist, and Carlos Magno is the writer. And basically, you can see who all the new Savage Avengers are there on the cover. Got Conan, Daredevil, Elektra's Daredevil, Weapon H, Black Knight, Anti-Venom, and then actually they got that's Deathlock, right? Yeah, Deathlock, right? Yep. He's, as far as I know so far from what you can read in 1 and 2, Deathlock's actually the bad guy primarily. He's not Savage Avenger. Basically what happens is Deathlock, and this is one of those things where if you're not familiar with everything that's going on in the Marvel Universe, you might be a little lost at first, but it's just kind of, you pass over it because you feel like maybe it isn't that important. But basically, Conan is in modern times. He's out of his timeline in the modern times, our life now, and Deathlock is a time traveling cyborg that punishes people for messing up the time stream. So he comes into modern times to Oh, and Cloak and Dagger are in the back there too. I forgot to mention them. They're part of this as well. But he's been sent to punish Conan for messing up the current time stream by basically existing here. And it's just kind of a coincidence that all these other cast of characters are kind of in the vicinity, and they just start helping Conan basically. And then of course there's a time rip. They start to actually beat Deathlock, and in his efforts to escape, I guess, he opens a time portal that they all go through, and then they all actually go back to Conan's time. What's that? Crimean times, right? I think. And
Crimean.
So now all of them are stuck in Conan's time, with not only Deathlock trying to kill Conan, but also all the other problems that timeline has to offer, just by all of them, being out of place and looking weird and all this. They all basically are public enemy number one. And then on top of that, everybody in Conan's time thought he was dead, and they were all after him to begin with for miscellaneous reasons. And so there's a bounty on his head already. So now they've got all just the common problems you'd have in that timeline: Deathlock chasing them, and helping Conan with defending himself from all these bounty hunters, basically. And then this was kind of interesting. They had the dinosaur that they had was their biggest unbeaten gladiator that they had Black Knight and Daredevil fighting, which was pretty interesting. Oh, and Cloak and Dagger. Cloak is there. Dagger's actually fighting in a different area. But that's what kind of happens. So in the first issue, we're just fighting in modern times, and then at the end of the issue is when they get sucked into the past. And now they're in the past, and they're not only in the past, but they're separated as well. And these three are together wherever it is, particularly in the past. And it's in an arena, though, and they have to fight this dinosaur, which, spoiler alert, but it was pretty cool because they didn't even tell you actually what happened. They just had Cloak. Daredevil was mocking Cloak as a rookie, like he didn't know, he was he didn't know what he was doing. He's kind of a punk or whatever. And then he does this trick, and then they move away into the next scene like that. That just ended that scene with Cloak doing this trick. You didn't know exactly what he did. And then later in the book, when they're trying to escape from Deathlock again, Cloak opens up, and he actually had the dinosaur enveloped in his cloak. So he just kind of releases it at Deathlock. It was a pretty cool scene, so I enjoyed this, and I'm going to give it a get it as well. I almost give this a must have. If you're anything like me, I really enjoyed the way this was written, and I love a random cast of characters, and I'm a big fan of, most of these characters anyway. So it was a good fit for me in particular. So I'll give it a really high get it, just maybe short of a must have, because it is pretty kind of a simple story too. It's not very deep. So, I think must haves kind of have to challenge you intellectually too. I don't know, maybe, but so I just give this a real extremely positive get it. So
nice. I saw it with this, I forgot that Cloak and Dagger show up in here. So I don't have it I can put up there, but I'll show that this is a variant for that issue number 2 that you might want to look for. It's the Jenny Frison variant. It's just really, really awesome.
Yeah, that is really nice. Okay.
Go look for that.
All right.
Look for that and put it on Whatnot.
Or keep it myself. I think this is one that Tyler, he picked up this as well, or picked this up as well. And do you guys, here's another thing too. Are you guys very familiar with Weapon H?
No.
I mean, I remember what came about, but I never read it.
Okay, so this could be a key. I guess it definitely is a key. I don't know whether it's going to matter later or not, but So Weapon H is obviously, this hybrid of Incredible Hulk and Wolverine, right? You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they're trying to escape from Deathlock, and when I say they, I'm talking about Black Knight and Weapon H are together, and for this scene, Black Knight's like decides he's just going to jump out a window, and Weapon H is like, "What are you doing? We can't fly." And Weapon H is actually stuck out of his Hulk form. He's just kind of fighting like Wolverine for a minute, and he's like, "What are you doing? We can't fly." And then he jumped, but they're being chased or they're going to die, of course. So he jumps out the window too. When he jumps out the window, he actually realizes he can transform. He's like a big man bat. So he transforms into Hulk. So he's this hybrid of Hulk, Wolverine, and like a big, man bat. He sprouts wings in his hands, like this kind of wings, not like behind him, but his arms become wings, and he's got bird feet, and he grabs Black Knight by the shoulders. And they escape by Weapon H flying them away. So they didn't give a name to this form or not, but it was a surprise to Weapon H too. He's like, "What did I just do?" And Black Knight's like, "Did you know you could? I didn't know you could do that." And like Weapon H is like, "I didn't know I could either." So, if this ever goes anywhere, it'll be the first appearance of Weapon H as a bird. Yeah.
I didn't realize that he could change from a man to the Hulk. Carrie, I thought he was just always that big Hulk.
I actually thought that too, but that's one of the first things you actually see in the first issue. Actually, sorry.
I tried to read the first Savage Avengers series. I said, man, it was just difficult for me. I don't know if it was just my state of mind at the time, where it was hard to pay attention to it, or just the time between reading issues. Now, so lost.
Well, definitely check this one out because it was a simple read.
Yeah.
So if Weapon H in his Hulk form has those huge Wolverine claws, you see where I'm going here?
Yeah. In his man form, he's like, whoa.
Well, I can tell you this: the way they drew it in his man form, they were small. They were normal sized. Yeah, right. Yeah. But
or if he's a man, he has them out, and then he hulks up. They're little tiny little things. What do you do with those? Actually, you remember when we were the nano metal figs? I actually made a Weapon H.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep. Do you still have it?
Yes. I'll have to dig it out. I'll try to dig it out for next week's show.
Yeah, because it really looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a Wolverine and a Weapon H custom, and I was in the process of making a Mr. Miracle. But I
got away.
Yeah, just lost interest. It was partly lost interest, and also this is a lot harder than I thought because that Mr. Miracle.
That's a rough paint job there.
Yeah. Speaking of paint jobs, Tyler, I got your thing. I still have to paint, and Kevin, I still have your Boba Fett that I will paint.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so that was pretty good. Forget it or forget it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I jumped onto the Red 2 Books wagon there. So, yeah. All right, you ready, Pat?
Yeah.
All right, let me get to it. Here we go. Awesome. My favorite part of that is how proud he is of that giant bat hanging above his head.
It is a really nice bat.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, since we were gone so long, there's a lot to go through, so I'm just going to blast through. I had talked about the 112 Spider-Man, and actually in one of the pictures, they pictured this Green Goblin, but not being 100% up on the 112 line. I wasn't sure if he was new or old. And apparently he was new. So this is the 112 Green Goblin Deluxe. He's a little cheaper than Spidey. He's 112. And we'll just go through these kind of quick. Didn't do the thing where I compared all the covers to the shots that were taken, but he's cool too. Comes with lots of accessories, heads, swap out heads. I don't know what I can't remember. I sort of half remember this from the comics, but I don't. Some kind of sort of ghost bombs that Green Goblin had at one point in frogs, apparently. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Again, that's the Spider-Man that we talked about a few weeks ago. And there he is again.
We got to make you want both. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
The glider with the mask, shot with the pumpkin bomb, upshot. Spider-Man cowering, standing tall over Green Goblin, and a sinister shot of the face.
That might be Amazing Spider-Man 40 homage. Let me pull that up real quick.
This one?
Yeah.
Could
I
be.
used to have that book. I'll pull it up. Continue.
And there's some shots of all the stuff that you get with them, the different heads and hands and the base.
These are must-haves for anybody that's into dioramas, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would certainly be cool to have them both and set up a scene.
Yeah.
And one more of his glider there. The main thrust of there you go.
There it is. Up. Yep, nice.
Yeah, so they knew these guys did their homework, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a few more of those shots were, directly lifted too. So, but yeah, great posability, lots of options there. The main thrust of what I have here is Star Wars, because during the time we were off, Star Wars Celebration took place in Anaheim, California, and they showed off a lot of stuff. We talked about they showed the one Obi-Wan figure when the series debuted, and we kind of wondered where the rest of them were.
Yeah.
The first thing they showed off was 3 of the third sister, Reva, in all the different lines, in the retro line, the 3 3/4 inch vintage, and the black series. And there's just another shot of it.
I want all those vintage, those 3 3/4 inches, the small ones. That's awesome.
Yeah. And this sort of hit before all the news came out of Celebration, so that's what we get to next. Well, first of all, this was a Target exclusive. Tiburon Station Obi-Wan.
Oh, that's another thing. Not to bash Obi-Wan again, because again, I liked it, but that was the other thing that we were all noting was he looked so much like a Jedi everywhere he was going. He wasn't trying to not look like a Jedi.
I know what you mean. You'd have thought the first thing he would have done was shave his face and.
Well, maybe not wear that cloak and have the hood up and stuff.
Right.
The brown cloak, the symbol of all Jedi. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, and I don't. This blue is a little too blue. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that way either, but it still looks cool. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. A new Darth Vader to go in the Obi-Wan line. This is Black Series, 6-inch. And they're because there was so much, I just kind of took shots off of Pulse's website. And like I said, the Target one's the exclusive one. The rest of these should be available at retail, Walmart, Target, Amazon.
I've made a joke a bunch of times about Darth Vader figures too, because obviously you can have a million Han, Luke, Obi-Wan, all that, because there's been so many different looks over the years. But, for me, it's always like, I've said before, I'm not much of a Vader fan to begin with, but I mean, how many Vader figures can you have? They all look the same.
They do look the same to me too, but every time they show off a new one, they talk about, the skirt's a little different, or the cape goes over the shoulders different, or he has redder lenses in his helmet,
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. Again, it's probably just because I'm not a big Vader fan. I guess if you're a Vader fan, you care about those details. I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Chewie's the same. He has the same outfit every time.
Right. That's another one I was going to say that about. Yeah.
And the Chewie there is in the archive series. It's still the Black series, but they put them on cards to bring them out because it's been a while since Chewbacca came out.
Yeah.
And that's where you see the archive series, and there's a few more, Old Han, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Bausch.
That's one of my favorite ever action figures when I had it back in the day is Bausch.
Yeah. It was, I agree.
And that's an actual bounty hunter too?
She's got the armor somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But Bausch is an actual, bounty hunter himself too, or herself. I don't know if it's a male or female or whatever, but yeah.
These are back to the regular box Black series. Who is she? The third sister, the fourth sister?
I think she's fifth, actually.
Fifth sister.
Yeah.
Grief Karga and Darth Maul from the Clone Wars with his mechanical legs.
I used to not like him at all, but I've started. I don't know whether maybe it's the action figures that's changed my mind a little bit. He looks cool with those mechanical leg action figures.
Yeah. Okay. There's the Grand Inquisitor with the fat face.
Right. Looking all tough there, but he looked like a chump during the entire show. But anyway.
One of the Raymond family's favorites in the middle there.
We're gonna have to pick that up. Yeah.
And and the fifth brother.
Oh, it's fifth brother. I thought he was fourth brother, but it's okay. Anyway.
Maybe they're reversed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this, I thought I wrote this down somewhere because this doesn't show it. HasLab, if you're not familiar, is like sort of a crowdfunding effort, and they did Mando's ship. They tried to do a Rancor and it didn't fund, so that never went through. But this is their latest one. It's the Reva's, the third sister, FX lightsaber, and I think this is like $450 if I remember correctly. I'm like, oh, I don't think it's gonna make it the funding either, but we'll see. So
it's like Kickstarter kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I never heard of it.
If they don't meet a certain level, it doesn't fund and go through, and then it's like Kickstarter where they throw in incentives,
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure what they could do for this for add-ons and incentives. Mando's helmet, and there again is the third sister in Black series form. Sorry, 3 3/4 inch Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan. We showed the 6-inch a couple weeks back.
Yeah, look at him, Mike. Look at that picture of Obi-Wan right there. That's how he's hiding, not so people don't spot him as a Jedi.
Right. Yeah, he looks like a Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
The Boba Fett throne room, which comes with the older, chunkier Bib Fortuna. There's a lot to this. Again, if you're a diorama type guy, $230. This is in the 3 3/4 inch scale.
Wow.
Only comes with Bib. I say only, but it comes with all these accessories.
Look at that. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
I've made it. I'm not trying to make the show last forever, but I want to interject this story from when I was a kid. I was hanging out with my mother at her best friend's house, and this is before the internet and phones and everything, so I'm bored as heck. And I'm starting to look through her friend's magazines, and she had 3 magazines in there that were all about thimble collecting. Remember that was a big thing back in the day?
Yep.
And I was like so dumbfounded that not only are there that many people collecting thimbles, but there'd be 3 magazines, different magazines. They weren't like 3 months of the same magazine, 3 totally different magazines of the same month. There's enough collectors that rate having 3 magazines in circulation of that hobby.
Yeah.
And this is what amazes me every time I see something like this. I mean, they've got so much Star Wars stuff that really that's where we are in a Bib Fortune throne room temple diorama access with all these accessories for $230, and this sells. That's I'm not being judgy, to each his own, of course, but it just seems crazy to me,
Yeah.
But like I said, I always go back to the thimbles. I'm like, well, if thimbles made it, this will too. I don't know.
Right.
And here we have a story in 3 pictures, I guess. We have, there's Bib hanging out, large and in charge. Here comes Boba.
Yeah.
And then we have the new daimyo of Tatooine.
Yeah, that whole set right there can explain how long Bib was in the series anyway. I mean, that's literally how long he was in it.
Of course, these 2 figures are sold separately. You don't get those for your $230.
Yeah, because that would make too much sense.
And slightly, I think I like this even better. The Star Wars movie realization line, where basically they take Star Wars and mash it up with samurai lore and design. And we have the Boba Fett. Now, this is the figure only. They did a one-off for Star Wars Celebration where the guy in charge of this line sculpted this whole throne room setup. So this is not a retail product, but I just thought it looked so cool.
It does look cool, yeah.
I wanted to include it. A couple different shots of it there. And basically, this is the second time Boba's been released. They're taking advantage of, the Book of Boba Fett and his different paint scheme.
I was going to ask you about that. I need to go back and rewatch the first few episodes because I don't remember these colors. He wasn't as colorful, was he? I mean,
yeah, it definitely seemed like he got some quick distressing and wear on Tatooine between Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Especially I don't remember the yellow on the boots at all in the show.
Yeah. There we go. That's more accurate to what it should be, apparently. But yeah, I don't remember it either.
Yeah, I need to go back because I really think that looks cool.
Yeah. This I just picked off because it showed a lot of the past figures. I have a few of these. I have the Boba Fett, and I have a couple Stormtroopers and Darth Vader. But Darth Maul, who I thought was really cool too, but he's not pictured here. There's all the Mandos.
Oh man, what are you doing to me?
Those are great.
Those are awesome.
And then, of course, they had to re-release Din with the child here.
Yeah,
it shows both releases there.
His little cart. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, the Lone Wolf and Cub riff there, taken to the extreme. Yeah. But yeah, I again not releasing this throne, but I just thought it looked so cool. I wanted to include it.
Yeah. I have a lot of those prototype Boba Fett's as well. With the white, every time they put that out, I want it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, awesome. They did them in this line too.
Yeah.
That's your collectibles on the horizon for this week.
Oh, awesome. Great stuff.
Yeah. Every time you show me stuff that I want to buy that I don't collect.
Right. Well, that's our job, right? No,
right,
we're not selling this stuff for people. This is just a little education on what's available.
I still want the grocery bag Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And I sort of find myself apologizing because it's so that Hasbro puts out so much, and it seems like a week goes by and they just announce so much, and it seems like I'm always doing Hasbro stuff, but that reminds me too. I wanted to correct me for Mike. Mike's looking right at the screen of the McFarlane page punchers that say they're 3 inches. And I'm telling him they're 4. And Mike's like, looks like 3 to me, buddy. Because
I don't remember.
I didn't notice that either. I don't remember. Yeah.
Because I thought they were like 3 3/4, like the old Star Wars figures. That's sort of the standard.
Yeah.
and I had it written down as 3, and then somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was because they said there was a wave of 4 that I got it in my head and thought they were 4-inch figures, but they're 3. And boy, when you start comparing like a 3 3/4 inch to a 3-inch, that 3/4 of an inch,
it's a big difference.
Yeah, when you get that small, it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if I was going to, you know, obviously I talk to Tyler regularly. He's totally into the Black Series, of course. If I were going to get into something, it would be these retro 3 3/4. Not only with Star Wars, but also the Marvel line. Man, even the characters I don't care about, I want. You know, it's so, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so sentimental to me.
Yeah,
you know,
hits that nostalgia bone right there. And
yeah, exactly. That's obviously what they're going for. You know, guys like us that have cash later in life, and we want the stuff we couldn't have when we were kids.
Right, those jerks.
All right, but that was great as usual. Again, thank you so much, Pat.
Well, the thing is, our wives don't have nostalgia from it.
right.
So I can't understand, but you don't understand. I really want this. I need it.
Yeah. All righty. So speaking of that, with this getting stuff, let's talk about. So I would actually like to go first this time, if it's okay with you guys.
Yep,
absolutely.
Okay, so first thing I have to say is the last 3 weeks for me have pretty much been with that store is like I've just gotten a lot of books in miscellaneous ways for whether it be for Whatnot or obviously my personal collection. I've gotten 2 shipments again. I don't know why exactly, but I got 2 shipments of DCBS, so I've got a ton of stuff, you know, and I wanted to. I don't have this with me. I guess it would be appropriate right now, but I don't. I actually got some manga too, and I didn't. You know, you guys maybe go through this as well. Since we don't get them until later, you're like, what? I ordered this. You know, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But apparently we were, you know, obviously talking about manga a lot in the last few shows. You know, I decided to give it a shot. So I got a World of Warcraft manga. So that'll be one of my what I reads here soon as well. I still don't have that awesome Nostromo Expanse ship yet. As soon as I get that, I'm going to show it off. I don't know why it's not here yet. I'm about to send them a message. Remember, that's the expensive thing that I didn't intend on getting that I got.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, what I did get was, and kind of on that same note, was a surprise, kind of unexpected for me. I got these Marvel United sets, 3 of them. It's the one is just all the X-Men. Any character that's ever been an X-Men is in that big fat box. There's like 73 figures in there. It's so awesome. I got a lot of painting to do.
Oh, they're not painted either. Oh,
no, they're not painted. Yeah, they're either blue or red. If they're the villains, they're red. If they're not, they're blue. And so, yeah, of course, would love to paint them all up. It's awesome. But, man, I've got 2 huge sets of that now, which I'm happy about, which can't have enough minis. And then I got the other X-Men box you can see there on the right. Or wait, no, it's on the bottom. It's X-Force. It's X-Men X-Force. So it's got all of who you typically know from X-Force in that box. And then in the top right, it's Tales of Asgard. I got that primarily for Ayla so I could have a Loki figure. And it's got Thor and you know, Heimdall, all of them in there as well. So, but I ordered this. It's definitely been over a year ago. Remember, when did we play that, Mike? You know, I got those just before we played that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe-
a long time. Did you say this was a Kickstarter?
Yeah, yeah. And I actually had given up on these because I think I had mentioned whenever I got these. Maybe it hasn't been a year because I think I talked about when I got these on the show. Did I just share them in the group or did I talk about them on the show?
Not sure.
Which that's another thing that's kind of shocking to me when we talk about how long we've been doing this show. We started in like November, October last year, right? It's been like 9 months. Kind of crazy.
I thought it was like June last year.
Was it?
I thought.
My memory's horrible. Pat, what? Correct us.
Oh no. That was maybe eBay.
Oh yeah. I think we started eBay then, but I think it was a little bit because I think we got 20 episodes and we were doing pretty good. Maybe it was. We had 20 episodes before the first season ended, and because season 2 started with episode 21, and we were doing pretty good at getting them out every week at that point. Or was
let me look. Episode 1 was September 12th.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the group one we did as a group was in the fall,
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it hasn't quite been a year, but this was a long time ago, obviously, at least for me. I've never done anything like this before. And I had actually given up on it because I had ordered these and they didn't come for so long and I wasn't getting any updates like everything else. I ordered like the other 2 things at the same time and I was getting updates and then those things came within a couple, 3 months. Then not only did these not come, but I wasn't getting updates. So I actually reached out to 2 or 3 different places to be like, hey, where's this stuff? And I think I mentioned to you guys before, I got messages from those 2 or 3 places saying, we're not the right people you to contact for this. You must have got this. And they gave me all these suggestions for other places. That's why I checked out with 2 or 3, but with no response. And then I was just like, well, I guess this is my Kickstarter experience. I got screwed is what I kind of threw my hands up and figured I was at a loss. And then I actually got an email for this like 2 days before it came. And it was said, oh, this is on its way. I was like, what? And then it just showed up Saturday. I was shocked. And, like you said, Mike, it was an awesome Saturday surprise.
Yeah.
So you need to get your butt over here with your boy so we can play this game.
I know.
Now I've got 6 boxes of these.
I mean, not to pile on, but he's ready for another Sea of Thieves day.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I was just talking about Axis and Allies yesterday. I got that, and we need to hook that up. So
yeah.
Why don't you guys just come over and spend a week, this summer?
Yeah.
Hey, that's perfect. It's summertime. You can be like, hey, let's go have a summer camp at Uncle Kevin's house.
Yeah, where are you going for vacation? A couple miles away.
Yeah.
Quick trip.
So anyway, that's the biggest thing I just wanted to highlight for what I got today. So, Mike, you wanna go next?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, not only do I have a comic book addiction, I have a music addiction.
Yeah. Okay.
Stems from even before my comic book addiction.
Right.
So a high school friend of mine had shared this on his Facebook page, so I quickly ordered a copy for myself. There's a band from the 70s and 80s, even the 90s, called the Cramps. Yeah. I don't know if anybody, if you guys are aware, William Shatner does these kind of spoken word, exaggerated versions of songs. And he did one for a song called Garbage Man by a band called the Cramps. And I had to get it. I mean, this is the back, which actually is the cover for the Cramps album. Came out in '84. And I've always loved that cover. And the same guy that drew the original ended up doing William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Face on the skeletal guy. Right,
yeah.
right.
So it's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's definitely, wow, the band, you've got they're rockabilly kind of, and you've got to have a taste for that. The William Shatner stuff you've got to have a taste for that as well. So when you mix these two together, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, shout out to J.R. Ray for that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he actually sat in front of me in homeroom. Raymond.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
so this is what I got.
he kind of does what you did back in the day too. He's a producer for
he's involved with I think Rockabilly Band.
Yeah.
Very involved in the music scene, I think.
Very cool guy. Yeah.
So yeah, I got a DCBS order, but it's just run of the mill stuff. That was the most interesting thing that I picked up in the last few weeks.
Nice.
And I thought I had a picture. I do have a picture of the vinyl. It's the vinyl's the same color as the album sleeve, just very loud, obnoxious yellow. It's great.
Gotcha.
In your free time, guys, go look that up.
I want to hear that. Yeah, I want to hear that. So if you want to share that,
I'll send it over. I'll put it on the Xcellar page. You guys check it out.
Okay.
I'll put the original and William Shatner.
Okay. All right, what you got, Pat?
The last figure in the wave 7, I think, losing track now, was Thor. He showed up in a nice box, perfect condition. Happy with Amazon on that one. Then I found this the animated Boba Fett from Droids at Target. And I wasn't gonna pick them up, but I don't know. I picked them up and put them back, and picked them up. And
I'm a fan of that, but obviously, but I like that Droids Boba Fett and the the Christmas special or holiday special Boba Fett. Those are awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically the same Boba Fett figure, just painted in some different animated.
Yeah,
colors.
they cheat him. They cheat him in. That's for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good idea that you ended up picking it up because it's one of those things that you'll kick yourself later.
And if you ever change your mind, you can just sell it to me.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, there's always a market within your friends circle.
Yeah.
He came with a coin too. That was cool.
Yeah.
They had R2D2 also, and I wonder why there was no C3PO because he's on the back of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like maybe he was one of the what do they call them? I should know because I just talked about him last show. The fan connection or whatever. Basically the online toy retailers minus Amazon apparently got the C3PO. The other two,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can't wait till there's a lot of. Again, I'm not trying to be a broken record here, but with Whatnot, there's a lot of Whatnot exclusives now too.
Really?
Yeah, because of that, I'm like, man, when do I get in on that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised. And Whatnot's been out for 2 years now. I'm surprised it's not been on anybody's radar too. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. So,
they got the kinks all worked out.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Sean Galloway, who goes by Cheeks, he's an artist, and I got a bunch of stuff. He had 2 new sketchbooks come out, and when you ordered like packages, you got some free mini prints. So this is a print, another print of Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's cool.
And this one of the Fantastic Four, which I really like. I almost ordered this one outright about a month ago when he first released it. And there's the sketchbooks. Number 5.
Who is that again? You said
Sean Galloway, Cheeks Galloway.
Oh, okay.
He's done some mainstream stuff, but he's mainly he worked in animation. You'll see coming up here. He did the designs for the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, and he also did designs for the Hellboy animated shows that they did. Number 4, and there's some interiors.
Those are all awesome.
Take a look. Yeah, he's definitely got that.
Sketchbook is spiral bound.
No, it's faux.
Oh, okay. It really looks real.
It's pretty neat. They're although they are in landscape format, Kevin. Sorry to tell you.
That's okay. If it's not a normal comic, I can take.
Right. There's some Spider-Man stuff. Like I said, he did designs for the animated series, and you can kind of see. Although this is more like an evolved. He sort of moved on from the look of that show, and he's sort of doing his own thing there. Some Superman, Japanese Spider-Man up there in the corner, my favorite.
Awesome. That looks very cool. Mind you, all the
I agree. I really like that Fantastic Four print that he had done. Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't it look like what was that Disney Infinity? You know, it's kind of like those figures from that kind of style. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're muted, Pat.
Yeah, that helps.
What'd you say?
I have nothing to say.
It was cool because he kept showing in progress shots of this cover.
Oh, okay.
Neat to see it evolve. Yeah, and then I have two things live here. If you want to shoot me back up to full screen, Kevin.
Okay.
I can get rid of this. I found him on clearance. Like I said, I seem to always pick up at least Snake Eyes for some reason. I'm not sure. I think I don't know. He's some kind of weird version because he's super blue.
Yeah,
super
he is.
blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he was on clearance. So I found a couple of them at Target and picked it up.
It's still cool. Very cool. Yeah.
I was at Goodwill and I found this. Maybe, I don't know, you might have an idea since you're the game guy. It's a Firefly game.
What?
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know how to play it or what it is or anything, but yeah, I've definitely won it.
Yeah. $3, and it looked like it was never. It was open, but it looks like they had like tiles and pieces that were never punched out of the cardboard. So you have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm part of this group called Dead Card Games on Facebook, and that's what I say all the time, especially for people like us that want so much, and you have to really prioritize. When you can find the old stuff for cheap, hey, it's that much better, you know. Yep. I actually appreciate the old stuff more than the new stuff now, and it's less expensive. Hey, that's money, you know. So,
yep,
that's good stuff, though. Did you guys see? I probably shouldn't even bring this up because I'm going to butcher it. But there's a new Snake Eyes series comic book coming out, and there's this ridiculous David Nakayama Snake Eyes variant. And I'm sure I don't know whether there's a one with trade dress and without, but man, I saw the Virgin variant. I think it's like a 1 in 500 or something. I didn't even know they had 1 in 500s.
Yeah, Berserker, they did like 1 in 1,000, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, it is so awesome. I want it, but I would never.
Store besides like Midtown orders 500 of a book.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, hey, here's your Midtown exclusive.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. There's how many of those do they make? You know, I'm always curious when I think about that. So I guess you have to order the 100 prior to them printing any, and then they'll know how many, or 500, like you said. But how do they, how do they pay an artist that does something like that they might not even sell any of them? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, they probably pay them for the artwork, and then they utilize it wherever they want. I don't think sometimes they'll say, look, it's going to be for the Snake Eyes #1 or something like that. 1 in 500 or something, but sometimes they just pay them to do the artwork, and then they use it where they want.
And then maybe if they can't use it for their 1 in 500 because it doesn't actually sell or whatever, they'll use it somewhere else or something.
Well, I think once they solicit it as a 1 in 500, they'll do it. But how many they end up printing? Well, that's what I think Marvel ran into that for a period there, and I even think now you can go to Walmart in those Walmart packs, and people were pulling. And I even did it. 1 in 50s, 1 in 10s, 1 in 25 variants of Marvel books for, $8. And a lot of people were getting bent out of shape. I think Patrick Gleason had some issues with it. Because I think somewhere there were, or maybe not. It's getting too confusing.
I think his was a store exclusive that ended up in there somehow.
But yeah, store exclusive.
So why would the artist get bitter about it?
Because he sold it, I think, like specifically for a store. Or in his own personal store somehow. I don't know how it made its way into.
So they take it personal
because that particular book, he solicited it for sale a specific way. Like, okay, this is the only way you can get this, $50, blah blah blah, and then they show up in an $8 Walmart pack. I mean, people were already bitter about the Walmart packs. That's a big argument there. So yeah, so
they get bitter because of giving them kind of a bad rep because they solicit it one way and then they do it a different way, and
for that particular book with
Yeah.
Patrick Gleason, yeah. But a lot of times, Marvel will print these 1 in 50s. They go to the warehouses and all that, and then they're left over. Like you're saying, who's gonna buy all these? And then so they just send those to a third party. They repackage them, and then send them off to Walmart. So for $8, you can get a 1 in 50 variant.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I could definitely see how I'd be bitter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
Patrick
think I got one of those
Gleason-
too. One of those lethal protectors that I'm trying to get, or I'm trying to sell on Very Variant Show. I think it's a 1 in 25.
Yeah.
And I got it from a Walmart pack. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think Patrick Gleason had a legitimate argument with that one specific book of his.
all right. So I think that'll do it. I mean, we kind of had a unique topic at the top of the show talking about whatnot anyway. So
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to end up doing is our unique topic that we've carried over for a month. We're just going to have to do a show. It's
Okay,
like
fair
an
enough.
hour-long show. All this other stuff, we're not going to do it. It's going to be an hour-long show on this subject.
But I love this other stuff so much.
I know. Well,
Unless
that's
you're-
it'll be an addition or something like that.
No. I know you're right. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah,
'Cause
we'll
we
talk
have-
about that. And then when we don't take long breaks, because every time we have a break for any reason, we come back. It's an especially long show. So
Overloaded.
anyway, speaking of all that recapping, you got any recaps? Anybody?
Well, Mike told me that I don't know if it's all women, but at least our wives don't have nostalgia bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 100% here. I don't know about the world.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I just want to say sci-fi shows that sneak up on you that don't present themselves as sci-fi shows are awesome.
Mhm.
What you got, Mike?
What's
It's your turn.
Stranger Things, even after 4 seasons, I think it's gotten better. It's odd, usually after 4 seasons, things go downhill. It's going uphill.
And I think we all agree now that 3/4 an inch really makes a difference, right?
When you're talking 3 inches. If you're talking like 10 feet, what's an extra 3/4 of an inch?
Right.
But if you're at, 3 inches, you add 3/4, like, holy cow.
And don't hide as a Jedi wearing a Jedi robe.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. And Savage Avengers are awesome. Sorry, we're just rolling on.
This week, you get a deal. This week is a deal.
This week is a deal. It's a special deal because you not only get a great deal from what we actually showed, but we're going to add books to it.
Pile on.
Yeah. Pat, you got anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
I got one more.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting Radio Spaceman 1 and 2. As soon as we're
Me
done,
too,
I'm
actually,
looking it up. I'm
definitely.
gonna get those. So,
I think you'll like it better than She-Hulk.
like stubbing my toe better than She-Hulk.
You should just give me that She-Hulk, the She-Hulks that you have 1, 2, and 3. That'll be a good 3-book lot for the Very Variant Show.
That's true. They're not variants, but
Well,
the
but,
one is I think I have the Art Germ variant, and then I love Jen Bartel's artwork. So
okay. Oh yeah, you have the Archer variant. Yeah, let me get that.
all right,
Sweet. Or you can just be on the show and you can sell it.
yeah. What do you want to trade for it?
We could talk about it. I got lots of stuff.
You got any Scotty Young books I can get?
Yes. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, my wife fell in love with Scotty Young
Yeah,
this past week. I shouldn't say fell in love. I'm exaggerating, but she definitely. That's her first artist. She knows who it is when she sees the pictures now.
that's what that X-Men book came up, and Marcus walks up to my phone and he's like, "Dude, you just spent more money."
I was watching another Whatnot show where a guy had 100 Scotty Young variants that I've never seen. Are you a Scotty Young fan, Pat, at all?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He's only been on my radar for a year, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have Silk #1, Scotty Young variant. I have the Spider-Gwen Series 1 variant of his that think about getting those graded because I think those would look great slabbed.
Yeah, I'm actually having a hard time selling those, but I bought them just to sell them. So
The Silk and the Spider-Gwen.
No. Just all those Scotty Youngs that I've been selling. that
Yeah.
you picked up 3 of them, or did you pick up 4 of them?
Well, I got the Alien from me,
Yeah.
Moon Knight, and then 2 X-Men from Mark.
Did you get the Moon Knight? I thought Tyler got that. No.
No, I got that.
Okay. All right. So just a few reminders, which these are extra important since we've been gone so long. You can listen to a podcast edited version of this live stream that will be posted no later than Tuesday. And then please take the poll and answer the trivia question that will be attached to that podcast through the Spotify app. And then please subscribe to, comment on, retweet, follow, like, and or share Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And then see what we have to offer on eBay and whatnot now at Xcellar_comics. And then also check out XcellarComics.com, which I'm going to try to have that updated tomorrow. And we're also putting out, shorter shows each segment of the show throughout the week on YouTube. If there's one thing in particular you'd like to check out versus the entire show, which gets kind of long, mostly my fault. And then I guess we're not having a midweek crawl through at all anymore. And then maybe we can just kind of call it to where there's really not going to be a short sale show either.
Oh, jeez. I forgot that was existed.
Because I think we've missed that for like
4 weeks, probably.
a month or 2 or 3 weeks prior to our 2 or 3 week absent anyway. So let's just do this. If you can do a short sale show, we can do a whatnot show like that.
Right.
And and it's fun and quick. So please, all of those things. And we'll definitely be back next week, right, fellas?
Yep. Next week is Father's Day weekend.
It is. Well, it's a special Father's Day.
Yeah, and not to brag or anything, but my Father's Day gift arrived like an hour ago. I saw the FedEx truck, and Emily said it's too big to hide. So, maybe
nice.
She got me a motorcycle. I don't know.
You're gonna have to show that on next week's show. So Sunday's Father's Day, right? Sunday's actually Father's Day. Yeah. All right, so that'll do it.
All right.
But don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome, and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.